Alright, so we're at 1007 North College Avenue at the Columbia Center for Urban Agriculture. So far I don't see anybody. Oh, now I see somebody. Somebody working. Hello?
Hi.
You care if I videotape?
Oh, that's fine.
Can I ask some questions?
Sure.
So, does the University of Missouri, is this part of it?
No, we're an independent nonprofit.
An independent nonprofit?
Yep.
Okay, and who do you serve?
We serve primarily the low-income demographic by partnering with the food pantry.
Okay.
And then we also have recently stood up a veterans program, which I'm the manager of. And so we are working on making connections with veteran-serving organizations in the community so that we can also start making produce donations to them as well. Like, for example, Project Welcome Home will be one of our community partners, most likely.
Okay, Project Welcome Home. That's a veterans.
And then, the food pantry actually has a veteran-specific program. I think they call it VIP packs.
Okay.
And so we're trying to get involved with that as well.
VIP packs.
Yeah, and then we have various programs. Our educational program, which we partner with CPS and some other organizations like Columbia Independent School and some different groups, scouts and different things like that, and then also Parks and Rec to do field trips that come to the farm, and we have programs where we have school gardens at some of the schools.
Some of the schools come, some of the scouts.
Program.
Okay.
Yeah, our Farm to School program serves all of the Title I elementary schools in the city of Columbia, and that's pretty cool. We do a lot of educational stuff, educating kids about where food comes from, making healthy nutritional choices, and then some science lessons about plants and how they grow and things like that. So that's our education program. And then we have a program that is called Opportunity Gardens, in which low-income families and individuals can go to our website and fill out an application, or they can come here to the farm and get a paper application of Opportunity Gardens, where they will go and build raised beds and supply all of the soil and the seeds or the starter plants, and then they also mentor on how to garden, and it's a 3-year program. So for 3 seasons, they provide you with everything you need to garden, as well as gardening tips and mentorship for low-income families so they can grow their own gardens.
Oh wow, that is awesome.
And then we have the Garden Pro program, which are a team of guys who will go out for folks who have the financial means to pay for services, build raised beds, do some landscaping, do consultant work, help people figure out where to plant a fruit tree, all those kinds of different things. And so the Garden Pro folks do that. They also maintain the Kilgore's Community Garden, which is over on Providence, next to Kilgore's.
Okay.
The Garden Pro guys maintain that as well. And then also in the past we have maintained the Crates to Plates Garden at Lucky's to continue to do that. That's just been kind of up in the air. But in the past we've done that Crates to Plates Garden
Cool.
at Lucky's, and that's been the Garden Pro guys as well.
That is neat. I think it's awesome
Yeah.
that you're inviting the schools and the
yeah,
school children to come in. Well, I was a teacher.
Yeah, I was too. I used to teach middle school science.
Yeah, a preschool teacher and a school librarian.
Yep.
And I just think it's really cool when children, especially city children, I live in a rural community,
Right, yeah.
so a lot of our kids grew up on farms.
Sure.
But I know that for city children to have this experience
It's really
is,
important.
yeah, very important and
Yeah,
very
I
educational.
I came up rural as well, and to go into the schools, because I previously worked in the education program, I just recently took on this new role as Veterans Program Manager. But to go into the schools, and when we bring something from the farm, for example, sometimes we would go and we would do these cafeteria tastings, like where we would give the kid a sample cup, and there's a baby carrot from the store, and there's a piece of farm fresh carrot, and we have them try it, and they tell us the difference, which one they like, and all that stuff. Various things along those lines, and to get kids to actually experience fresh produce
Yes.
that hasn't been handled and processed and all of those things
Yes.
You know, and you sneak some spinach in there and stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't tell them until after that they drink spinach in their smoothie, and they're like, well, I guess it's not so bad.
It's not
You
so
know,
bad,
it's
yeah.
exposure to that, and they understand that food doesn't come from the store. It comes from the ground, and someone does the work and plants the seeds. Because every spring in our farm to school program, those elementary kids have a contest. Each school has a contest, and their teams of 5th grade students who put up their planting plan for the raised bed garden that's at their specific school, and all of those get collected, and the 5th grade teachers get together, and they kind of screen them, and they send the semifinalists on, and then those kind of get picked over and looked at, and each school has one winner, and that team gets the garden kind of named after them for the season, and then we plant what they want. If they, you know, wanted a whole bed of radishes or whatever they wanted, you know, within reason, obviously, but, you know, we give them a list of all the stuff, like turnips, radishes, and, you know, carrots, kale, whatever, and they design the garden.
Yeah.
And they have to use the correct spacing, like, because we give them a pamphlet that has, like, the square foot gardening, and it's like, okay, well, if you're going to plant cabbage, you can only have one per square foot, so then they've got to take their little paper with their grid and make sure they would put one cabbage in each square foot or whatever they do. And the kids get really excited about it.
Yes.
And it's a really great experience for them. And then they get to have the pride of having their garden design growing at the school. And each individual school does that, of all the Title I elementaries. And then the kids get to come out and we show them how to maintain a garden from planting all the way through harvesting. All that stuff happens, and they get to see it, participate in it. And I think it's a really enriching experience. It's really important. And in a way, I think it should be the standard.
Yes.
Because kids don't get exposure to that. And they think their food just comes from a box, or it comes from the store.
Right.
Or it comes from McDonald's. And that's really a disservice to these kids because, you know, everybody deserves access to, you know, fresh, local, sustainable, healthy food.
Right. I was just talking to my daughter's neighbor, and she had just started some container gardening at her apartment complex.
Yeah.
And she had tomatoes growing, basil, some herbs, you know, and it's, you know, it's very important that people understand, especially in today's society, our economy, our world affairs, that we can grow our own food in just containers. And should grow our own food in containers if you have nothing else, containers. And Columbia is lucky enough to have this community garden, and I'm sure, did you say there was another one here in town?
Yeah, there's the Kilgore's garden that we maintain. That's next to Kilgore's Pharmacy on Providence. And if you know where the Farmers Market Pavilion is...
Okay, I don't, because I'm just visiting, but...
Okay, so, are you visiting folks that are local?
Yes.
Okay, ask them where the Farmers Market Pavilion is, because we're literally in the middle of constructing an agriculture park here in Columbia.
Oh, wow, that's great.
It's like multi-acre. We already have some crops out there that are in the ground right now. Our barn is getting built. Our schoolhouse building is getting built. We'll have a big greenhouse out there. We're going to have a demonstration garden that will literally be a simulated backyard, and we're going to show container patio gardening, raised bed gardening, all these various ways that you can grow in any amount of space. You can grow something, and we're going to demonstrate that, and people can just come and see it and be inspired by it. Ask us questions, you know, and then go home and do that.
Yeah. Do you know?
So I'm really hoping to use that as an example for people to get folks to start growing at least a little bit of something, even if it's just some herbs on your kitchen counter.
Right. Do you know, does Columbia have a community garden where community members can like rent out little
that's
plots?
The Community Garden Coalition. We have done some work with them, but they're a different nonprofit from us. But they do have several spots throughout town, and you can look them up if you just look them up on the internet. It'd be Columbia Community Garden Coalition.
Columbia Community Garden Village. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, well, thanks for your time. It looks like you have some radishes to process there. What do you have growing under your covers here? Oh, wow, look at that. All of this will go to the food pantry.
We get a monthly stipend of a certain amount of pounds of produce that we can take as employees of the organization. And aside from that, it's exclusively just donated.
Yes.
Yep. None of it's for sale or anything like that. We do occasionally, if we've got a huge surplus, we put stuff out in what's called our honesty market, where it's pay what you can.
Right.
But that's just kind of there. But we don't go and like vend at the farmers market or have a farm stand or anything like that, because our mission is to make sure that the people in the community that don't have access to that fresh produce are getting it by partnering with the food pantry.
Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds great. It looks like you have some irises
Oh,
and
we do. We have some very nice
and
irises.
some. Are these phlox here? Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes,
believe
those
they
are phlox,
Yep.
and looks like for pollinators, because pollinators are very
Typical
important.
beehives that are down on the north end of the farm downhill there. We got a lot going on. Blackberry bushes will hopefully start producing before too long.
Oh, you have. Oh, yes,
Yep.
I see.
Yep.
Bushes back there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Are blackberries the only berry bushes you have, or?
Down on the other end, we've got some raspberries, and then you can usually see that straw area that's kind of down there. Those are our asparagus beds. They're kind of raised asparagus beds.
Asparagus. Okay.
And then
So you have a lot of perennials growing in with your annuals.
yes, we mix in perennials and annuals, and all of our cultivation practices are as sustainable as we can make them. We don't till. We do all of our soil work by hand, so it's no till.
No till.
We
Okay.
don't use any kind of like chemical pesticides or fertilizers. All of our fertilizers
Yeah, I see the big compost pile down there.
organic compost. We deal with only very specific sources of compost because we make sure that it is tested so that it doesn't have residual herbicides or anything like that in it. We're very, very particular about what compost we take.
Okay, so you know who you're contracting with
Yes,
and what their
exactly.
practices are.
Every time we get a shipment from them, they send us the test results before we take a shipment.
All right.
Just to verify. So we're pretty particular about that. We put on insect netting on crops that are prone to getting issues with caterpillars and various things like that. And then we will even go through and do physical removal. Just check for slugs and caterpillars.
Right.
And things like that.
Visual
Just
check.
physically remove them because we're not trying to spray anything out there that's going to harm the environment.
Right, or
Yeah.
people.
Or people, absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I just love the irises. The irises are one of my favorite flowers.
Yeah, I really like them a lot too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thank you
welcome.
so much for your time.
Yeah,
Do
you
you
bet.
mind me asking your name?
Yeah, it's Dustin Cook.
Dustin
You
Cook.
can check out our website, columbiaurbanag.org.
Okay, ColumbiaUrbanAg.org.
Yep, and we also have a Facebook page if you're on Facebook.
Okay, and what is it?
Just search for Columbia Center for Urban Agriculture.
Okay, Columbia
And
Center for Urban
We
Agriculture.
have been putting a lot of content online. We came up with this idea for what we're calling garden side chats, like inspired by the old fireside chats of the Great Depression, where we're just doing videos on how to garden and how to cook with fresh produce and things like that. And so almost daily we're putting up videos or doing live streams of all these various gardening and cooking relating activities, just to kind of give people something to look at that's positive in the world. 'Cause
Right.
it's hard to come by right now.
Right now, yes. We need positivity.
That's right.
And fresh foods.
That's right. The thing is, anybody can get out and garden, so
Yeah.
that's something that people can do. It's a positive thing.
Right.
So you get outside and get some sun.
Exercise, fresh air.
Exercise.
And gardening's something that you can pretty well do
Oh yeah.
on your own,
Sure.
maintaining 6 feet of distance like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
wanting.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yep. Yeah, we're doing, when we have our staff out here, we limit the number of people that are out at any given time and social distancing and all of that stuff. So we're pretty responsible as far as that goes.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Dustin. All right. So we're going to take a walk here on the perimeter. He probably would have let me in if I had asked, but I'm just going to walk the perimeter here. These irises are just beautiful. They just make your heart sing and they put a smile on your face. Alright, so if you're in Columbia, drive down Smith Street there and you're going to come to the Urban Garden or the Urban Farm. They have raised beds on the other side, and then it looks like they're doing row gardening on this side. Different kinds of lettuces coming up here. Different kinds of herbs and flowers. Not sure what kind of trees these are. Looks like they've been topped off. There's their large pile of new manure. Hand washing station. He said the beehives are right there behind that great tarped covering there. Yep, right in the middle of Columbia, about 5.5 blocks from where Katie lives. Oh, it looks like they have a pavilion down in there. I don't know if you can see those purple benches. That's probably where they do some of their group studies. They have some tunnels over there. All right. Have some lilies coming up here. There's a bunch of onion sets growing nicely. Food is good. Oh, there's a sign for their outdoor classroom. I bet this is the outdoor classroom. This little square over here is the outdoor classroom. Yep. Okay, so here's their urban garden. Columbia Center for Urban Agriculture. And this is the back entrance. Visitors entrance is located on Smith Street. Looks like they have a, oh, there's their chicken run. And that's their chicken house. I don't see any chickens, but yep, that's what the sign says. Very cool. That shed up there is kind of cool. It's got a rooster on it.